What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the UP Oddcast. I've been calling it lately. Buckle up, as usual. Today there will be a myriad of odd videos, and just bear with us as we go through it. And thank you so much for joining us, guys. As always, please comment once, comment twice, comment a third time with what you have to say. If you do enjoy today's video, please, I encourage you to please smash like. It really helps us out. And if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. And if you've already subscribed, consider sharing us with a friend. Be sure to check out the first link in our description. That's where you can find all of the super cool unspecified merch that the lovely Tiff has been working so hard on, and I am so thankful for her. I think so much of it is so awesome. It's all awesome. All right, well, with all of that business out of the way, thank you so much for being with us, guys. Let's get right into today's videos. It's looking like the Democrats have a new script. The new script has dropped for the Democratic Party.
The strength that we have is in this moment.
Listen to your constituents. Center them in this moment.
But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment.
You know, I think about what's happening, in this moment.
What's important is that we meet this moment.
So are these current Democrats the ones to meet the moment?
What do you want to see us doing right now in this moment?
And which Democrats are actually going to stand up against Elon Musk and Donald Trump in this moment?
The fight that you all are exhibiting is not just what the base wants, but it's what this moment requires.
The strength that we have is in this moment.
What's with all the moment talk? It's like the Democrats are like, we don't know what to do in this moment. So if you could, it's like...
And I hear it. I hear everybody saying it, but I am scratching my head. I'm like, well, what are they trying to say? Like, what's the...
It's like I don't know, but it reminds me of like the Zoolander movie where he gets programmed with a trigger word, and now they're all saying the trigger word or something like that,
Snap.
So forgive me, I'm always going all tinfoil hat with everything.
Watch out for Jason Bourne, okay? Just watch your six, head on a swivel.
Or Derek Zoolander.
That's right.
The politicians in France are upset with us. Give us back the Statue of Liberty. French politician asked for the return of the Statue of Liberty.
Rendez-nous la statue de la liberté. On vous en a fait cadeau.
We gifted it to you,
On vous en a fait cadeau.
but you seem to despise it.
Mais apparemment vous la méprisez. Alors elle sera très bien.
So it will be better off here with us. A French politician has said his country should take back the New York landmark, as the U.S. no longer represents the values that led France to give it to them in the first place. Designed by Frenchman Auguste Bartholdi, the Statue of Liberty was a gift from the French to the American people. It was unveiled in 1886 for the Sentinel of the American Declaration of Independence. Glucksman, a center-left politician, is a staunch defender of Ukraine.
Something different. There is now a member of the European Parliament from France who does not think the U.S. represents the values of the Statue of Liberty anymore. They want the Statue of Liberty back. So is President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So.
Did you forget about Normandy?
Well, to be fair,
maybe a little. Okay.
They were also helpful in the Revolutionary War.
I'm guessing you didn't watch Saving Private Ryan. Okay.
But can I make a
comment? We paid them back for the Revolutionary War. Okay.
Right.
I appreciate your help during the Revolutionary War. Okay. But I think we saved your hind end.
Can I just say, though, have you seen the people that say the comparison between the Statue of Liberty and the statue of Lucifer?
Yeah.
Some of the correlations being, the
chain on the same foot, seven-pointed star,
the crown.
I forget the name of the cathedral over there in Europe that has a statue of Lucifer or whatever, and
then there's an apple, and the Statue of Liberty is in the Big Apple,
or next to the Big Apple,
right? And the bearer of light. So I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it makes you go,
Yeah, look at the Statue of Liberty's face. Does that remind you of a woman's face?
Maybe we would do better without the statue. Who knows? But I will say this. If y'all think that you're going to hurt Trump's feelings by taking back the Statue of Liberty, watch him turn around and make a statue of himself.
That's all you're going to do. I mean, that's all that's going to happen. I mean, he's most likely going to put a statue, maybe of himself, maybe of something else. But, if this is some kind of lefty jab, you see what I'm saying? Well, he's got a much bigger jab that he could do.
Right.
And then the lefties are going to be like, wait, leave the Statue of Liberty there. And so now we're round robining back to why it's there in the first place. It's like, guys, what is going on with the Democratic Party? Like, golly. Conor McGregor at the White House. At the White House.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. Our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit. What is going on in Ireland is a travesty.
I guess I'll leave that where it is. Holy crap. Watch as the 238 members of the Tren de Aragua gang arrive in El Salvador's prison. This is unbelievable, but, this is unbelievable is correct. It looks like a movie. Like, this looks well shot. Like, cinematically, it's like watching Sicario. Like, it's like...
Well, they're trying to send a message after that judge tried to stop it.
Oopsie.
Oopsie, it's too late.
Sotomayor.
Easy!
I just wonder who put this production on. Like, because this is a production.
It definitely is. And when have we ever... That facility almost looks like a pop-up facility. If you rewind and look back, it looks like hangars and stuff, which maybe that's it. But when have we ever seen documentation like this?
Maybe... Not to say it doesn't look good. It all looks legit. The buildings look legit. It looks good. I guess we're just in, new times. What a time to be alive.
Yep. It's making a statement, so that's
sure is.
I guess why they did it.
Breaking, Donald Trump proposes nationwide concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state lines.
Seventh, I will protect the right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line. Seventh, I will...
That is such good news, especially when you got fellas that take it all the way to the other side. Okay, check this out. It's just too much awesome for one video. Texas man mounts a minigun on top of his Tesla Model S Plaid and dares liberals to try to vandalize it. Just try and vandalize my Tesla. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I actually don't know if I can use that music, but dude.
So you operate it from inside of the car?
Yeah.
Okay, but is it automatic? Otherwise, if you're not in it, then...
I'm not generally a big fan of Teslas, but I'm a big fan of this. Okay, this is cool. This is too much cool.
Do you think it's independently operated from the car's battery? Or do you think the car has to be on for it to work?
No, I think it has its own. It likely has its own battery. I don't know how advanced it is, if it's tied into the car's controls or what.
I'd like a tour.
I think it's
Oh, and it's got dogs protecting it?
well, there's the biological dogs.
Right,
there's
and the
robot
dogs.
dogs. I don't know. Just a whole lot of cool stuffed into one video. Hailstorm in Missouri earlier in the week. And I'll be honest, I have never seen hail like this. Have you seen hail like this?
Now we can see better. I have never seen anything like this. My God. Look at that. That's going to be 4 feet deep almost. A hail. Look. That's crazy. I have never seen hail like this. Oh my God. It's going to go up. Oh my God. Look at this. It looks like it's like coming up the side of the door. That's about 14 inches, 16 inches now, 18 inches. Oh my God.
Okay, that is remarkable. I have never seen anything like that. However, there has to be there's something going on that's making it all pile right there. Because if you look on top of the table,
Well,
it's
hold on.
not.
So if you look at the way the porch is with that other wall, the roof probably has 2 angles that it's coming down right there.
Okay, and that's just intensifying it because the top of the table is not adding up like that. But that is absolutely remarkable. Look, some of the
Yeah, that is a good point. I don't understand. Maybe there's a tree or something blocking the, right out there.
That's true.
I don't know.
I don't know, but that's interesting.
But listen to what this feller says at the end here.
Regardless if climate change is real, the climate literally seems to be changing. Lord have mercy.
Right. Whether or not it is what they are saying it is, it does appear to have changed.
Yes.
Or to be changing.
I also feel like Tornado Alley, we're not really seeing it, Texas up through to North Dakota like it used to be. It seems like it's kind of Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, everywhere that got hit this weekend, unfortunately, and prayers go out to everybody affected.
This generation is lost.
Can you guys help me find a tool? A left-handed hammer?
Like mechanical hammer or just?
Just like a normal hammer. I'm just a left-handed guy, just looking for a left-handed hammer. Maybe you can show me where the hammers are at?
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Kind of like just like something like this, where you can use both sides, or
like I'm a left-hand.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
The comments on this are hilarious. There's this bit.
Yeah, but are you looking for like a tool or something? What difference does it make? Huh. What difference does it make?
Okay, I'm looking for a tap and die and some WD-40.
Huh. Well, what is it that you're trying to do?
I'm trying to buy a tap and die and some WD-40 and get out of this godforsaken store.
And what is a tap and die?
Okay, forget it. Let's say I want a hammer. Do you know what a hammer is? That's what I want, a damned hammer. Now, where in the hell would I go?
This guy gets it. There's hope. And I was like, where was this guy? The guy passes by, and she asks him, and he gets it right away. He's like, a left-handed hammer? Let's see.
Something like this, where you can use both sides, or?
He starts laughing
Like
immediately.
I'm a left-hand.
Yeah.
So
There is hope.
there is hope.
Somebody gets it.
It's a funny gag, though. Meanwhile, at UC Berkeley. So I guess this is what's going on at college. For some. can't quite wrap my mind around the rationale of what's happening. But, you know, to each their own, I suppose.
Looks like a summer camp for mascots.
Definitely fitting the oddcast.
That's right.
Satanists are planning to hold a black mass at the Kansas State Capitol during the lead up to Easter.
President of the Satanic Grotto is speaking exclusively with our Kansas Capitol Bureau. He says his group will host their ritual in the Capitol building, even if it means getting arrested by Capitol Police. Stewart says it's an act of defiance and rebellion, one of the core themes in Satanism.
What are you hoping they take away from this black mass?
I'm hoping that our legislature remembers that Kansas is a diverse group of people with diverse needs and wants, and stops placating to just the largest demographic of religious people.
Stewart says they're protesting oppression, those who have imposed their religion on them and have failed them.
I've never been to a black mass. For people who don't know, how could you describe this?
We are going to observe certain rules that preclude certain things from what we would do in private. Ours tend to be a little more bawdy, a little more ruckus, smoke and mirrors and fun. We can't make any messes here. We can't do a lot of things. So what we're going to do is heavily lean into what I call the 4 blasphemies, kind of representing an alternate to the Stations of the Cross.
Stewart says religion has taken center stage in some debates at the State House, like abortion. Catholic groups have advocated for more restrictions on abortions in the state. But in 2022, Kansas voters decided to uphold abortion rights in the state's constitution.
If there are Catholics here fighting against abortion rights, which Kansas has decidingly and overwhelmingly voted for, then I will use those same mechanisms to speak back.
Then would you argue that religion has somehow infiltrated the State House, not just, national politics, and for that reason you're using it as a way to combat what you're seeing here through legislation?
I think that is a great way to summarize that.
Now, Governor Kelly says she won't allow protests to be made inside the Capitol. The governor issuing this statement tonight, saying in part there are more constructive ways to protest and express disagreements without insulting or denigrating sacred religious symbols. However, as governor, I also have a duty to protect protesters' constitutional rights to freedom of speech and expression, regardless of how offensive or distasteful I might find the content.
Wow.
Odd. Definitely spiritual warfare going on. There's a kingdom of light and a kingdom of darkness. And, wow.
Pray up, Kansas.
Yeah. And it seems like in a lot of states, it's like the term battleground state is like, takes a whole new meaning when you incorporate the spiritual aspect.
The way he described their meetings, ugh.
Yeah. And his little goatee reminded me of like antennae.
Oh, yeah. But, oof.
Little antennae goatee thing. Yikes. John Cleese predicted this extremism about 30 years ago. Over 30 years ago.
We've heard a lot about extremism recently. A nastier, harsher atmosphere everywhere. More abuse and bother boy behavior. Less friendliness and tolerance and respect for opponents. All right, but what we never hear about extremism is its advantages. Well, the biggest advantage of extremism is that it makes you feel good because it provides you with enemies. Let me explain. The great thing about having enemies is that you can pretend that all the badness in the whole world is in your enemies and all the goodness in the whole world is in you. Attractive, isn't it? So, if you have a lot of anger and resentment in you anyway, and you therefore enjoy abusing people, then you can pretend that you're only doing it because these enemies of yours are such very bad persons. And that if it wasn't for them, you'd actually be good-natured and courteous and rational all the time. So, if you want to feel good, become an extremist. Okay, now you have a choice. If you join the hard left, they'll give you their list of authorized enemies. Almost all kinds of authority, especially the police, the city, Americans, judges, multinational corporations, public schools, furriers, newspaper owners, fox hunters, generals, class traitors, and, of course, moderates. Or, if you'd rather be an extremist on the hard right, no problem, fine, you still get a lovely list of enemies, only they're different ones. Noisy minority groups, unions, Russia, weirdos, demonstrators, welfare sponges, meddlesome clergy, peaceniks, the BBC, strikers, social workers, communists, and, of course, moderates. And upstart actors. Now, once you're armed with one of these super lists of enemies, you can be as nasty as you like and yet feel your behaviors morally justified. So you can strut around abusing people and telling them you could eat them for breakfast and still think of yourself as a champion of the truth, a fighter for the greater good, and not the rather sad paranoid schizoid that you really are.
I wish I could download this and just play it out of, like, on my hand, out of my mouth, whatever, and just have it autoplay anytime I try not to argue with people. I'm usually pretty agreeable, but sometimes I really need this clip.
That's true. That's true. It's a really good bit. Getting into the word today from an unexpected place. Someone from the Hollywood crowd. It's just kind of a blessing for me, one of the Wolverines from Red Dawn. Wolverines! Charlie Sheen. And amidst, forget everything that you know about him, I didn't know he had a daughter because I'm not hip with all the Hollywood who's and whatever.
I did know he had a daughter, and I knew that it was from Denise Richards. I'm very hip with it.
Well, their daughter has been openly sharing about her faith in Jesus on social media, and Lola Sheen was recently baptized and says that Jesus rescued her from darkness and made her life worth living.
Amen. Let's hear it.
I'm about to go on a live news show, and you're allowing me to feel these feelings, like what the heck. But I know that God allowed that so I could see his power in my weakest moment. That when I am weak, he is strong. So, you guys, I have to read you this verse because it's in Corinthians, I think. Let me find it. Hold on. Okay, I found it. This is Corinthians 12, 8 through 10. Okay. 3 different times I begged the Lord to take it away. Each time he said, "My grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness." So now I'm glad to boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ can work through me. That's why I take pleasure in my weaknesses and in the insults, hardships, and persecutions and troubles that I suffer for Christ, for when I am weak, then I am strong. I wrote on the side, when we suffer, we should rejoice because we get to see the power of Christ work through us. What a gift is that. Before I had Jesus, when I would get hit with depression, I would think that I'm back to square one. I'm back to where I used to be. And the Lord, now that I have Jesus and I've been walking with him through depression and he's been so patient with me, when I'm hit with a wave of depression, I feel him testing me to see if I will still trust him in those moments, and if I will still praise him the same in those moments. And so it's such a blessing for me to still experience those feelings because I get to draw, Jesus is the only strength that I have in that moment. And so it's like, he's the only strength that I have in general, but in that moment, I get to see his strength so much more because I feel so weak, and his strength is the reason why I was able to get through that day. And so it just shows, like, truly, when we are weak, he is so strong, and if we have him, we will be okay. So if you are still experiencing, thoughts of depression and anxiety and whatever it may be that you're facing, just know that if you have Jesus, you will be okay. And it's a blessing to struggle, actually, because you get to see how he works in your weakness and how he really works best when you're in your weakest moment. And so, I hope that
it's a good word.
Yes, she did so good. That is amazing and absolutely a good word.
We all struggle, and it reminded me of this verse, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 12 through 19, but this is what was brought to my mind. Suffering for God's glory. Beloved, do not think it strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you, but rejoice to the extent that you partake of Christ's suffering, that When his glory is revealed, you may also be glad with exceeding joy. That's just what it reminded me of. Thank you, Lord. Imagine how valuable your soul must be for Satan to tirelessly pursue it, and the king to lay down his own life for it.
Let that sink in.
That's big. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Be still. He will fight for you. All you need to do is be still. All right, everybody. Unfortunately, that is all we have for today. Thank you so much again for joining us, guys, and hanging in there. If you've watched to this point, I commend you. Thank you so much for checking out all the weird oddities that, we had to see it, so you had to see it type of odd, strange things. Hope we put some stuff on your radar. Please comment once, comment twice, comment again with what you've got to say. Tickle Uncle Algorithm for us. And please, if you like today's video, please be sure to smash like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you've already subscribed, please consider sending this link to a friend. If there was anything that you'd like to share with someone, we highly encourage you to do that. Please be sure to check out the merch that Tiff has worked so hard on, and I am so thankful for. It would be a blessing if you guys start to rep the Oddcast merch. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you in the next one.